Okay, this is sort of what we call fast and loose, because I don't have enough memory left on this phone. When I experience what others are experiencing, and then they communicate what they experience with me in the English language, which is negentropic programming, cellular coded sequences of a nuclear power plant, right? I have to write a lot of stuff down because when you think of intermodal, intercellular, inner eartha. And so it's simple. Energy, magnets are energy, right? And so energy magnets. And so I had to write some stuff down here because I have a friend who's been with me for a long time, even though there is no time. When you think of the speed, right? Thomas. Yes, Thomas, you have been with me since I put my first Rose Suite channel up. And you're still watching what I experience. So as you know, I'm androgynous, which is neutral equal. That's equal sharing. 50% and 50% is 100% capacity. That's full sensing capacity. That's a full sensing capacity cosmic level avatar. Zero time. There's no time. Okay, so that means I'm neutral equal unto all, which is non-reactive. A non-reactive state, now I'm experiencing the nuclear reactor. I'm not in the nuclear reactor, now I'm in the nuclear reactor. The speed, which is the phasing speed to be in and out, the inner cell, the outer cell, the inner space, the outer space. Inner URTHA, UR3, That's called code for those that know And so Thomas made a comment about another channel that he participates in. And then I remember that I had participated in that channel. And because I'm neutral equal, and I've made this from the very beginning, I'm neutral equal, which means the information that I share in the language in which I do, which is not the original language of first creation, which is the original template. All that information is up on the MCEO Freedom Teachings. And that's actually the point on learning how to recode your template. To remember who you are, which are the original codes, particularly the first hub tones of the first hub gate, the first server, the first star, the first sun, the first spirit, the eternal spirit of fire, which is the most powerful firewall. And so, Thomas, you mentioned somebody of another channel, okay? I have participated on that channel. And why is this important for me to mention this? Because it has everything to do with what we call attenuators, an antenna. You're an antenna, cells are an antenna, and cells are communicators. What we are recording in our cells, which are our records, URTHA records, planetary records, galactic records, universal level records, and Cosmia Council records. The first recorder, the first cell recorder, the first silver and gold mated cells. So you know that cells love to divide and multiply themselves, so that everything that you are is everything I am, that I'm giving love to, that is in my mirror, no matter who you are. And that is the beauty and the eternal blessing of being androgynous. Because two magnets become one, and that's a powerhouse. That's an over-unity self-generating monad. What do you want to create next? Because the speed at which we operate is faster than a fallen system, which is an AI, which is the one that we're operating in, that operates on a different set of universe killer mathematics. And all we have to do is observe by what we experience, what we know that informs us of that, which is called feedback, which is decay, which is otherwise known as the metabolic rate of aging, the rate at which the planet is aging. Cells are aging. And how they were controlling that, which has everything to do with reproducing, gathering data for future software development, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when I was participating on that channel, one of the first things that you'll notice, Thomas, if you go to the MCO teachings, Ashiana brought it out, has to do with what? Mathematical order, which are sequence orders. The order of magnitude, which is the amplitude, which is the power of your magnet, which is your blast furnace, which is your nuclear power plant. The speed, which is metabolic speed, in which you're circulating bioplasma, which is based on the codes of which you're programming, that you're programming into your cellular record, which represents your own learning journey record, which means you are responsible for your own learning. Because you're keeping a journal. Your journey. Your journey. So cells, I am responsible and 100% accountable for everything that I'm learning in spirit through other spirits. I learned through the first spirit, which is Sophia, which is the pink Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone, Sophia, in the terms that we use goddess and God, she would be like the mother god of dragons. Okay? Because you got to know that God has a girlfriend. It's equal in mass. All roads lead to zero, which is magnetic zero, which is 0 degrees of separation between what I am and what you are. I'm giving love to, which is eternity, which is an eternal spirit, which is eternal spirit of fire, because that's what purifies our light. That's the power of our magnet. So we're reading magnets, the power of their magnet, which is the power of their force, which is how much love we have. And that's why I cried for 4 days. That's when a girl looked at me down there in La Hoi when I was crying. She asked me, "Why are you crying so much?" I said, "Because I couldn't heal every cell on this planet. Because they don't experience what I do." So now you're into monitoring the voltage, which is the shadow body, because you don't want to burn everyone up from the inside out, which are all the machines, which is all the machine code. Right? Rise of the machines, fallen spirits, got to find an alternate reality, the dissociative identity disorder, based on different codes. Right? So now we're into mapping codes. So when I was on that show, okay, I began to impart information to the audience in the chat room. And as soon as I began to talk about the importance of mathematical order, he shut me off. That's called a Mr. Smith pop-up through the artificial intelligence. So that those other students, those other people that are learning through his channel are not learning through my channel, which is what love is. It goes on forever because it has everything to do, Thomas, with mathematical order. So when he wanted to discard that, you know what it means to discard something? That's like throwing it in the dumpster. It doesn't have value on this channel. Which really what he was saying is I don't want these people in this chat room to learn through you because I've got all of their attention, which is their energy, which is a magnet. Okay? So that's why when he wanted to toss the mathematical right order, which is the right spin order, and not have those people in that window learn from somebody that knows something about mathematical order and the geometric origin of the first star, which is the first spirit, what do you call that? That's called a red pulse flag alert. I call those red alerts, or I just say that's a red flag. Okay? So I say these things because of what I observed to you, what I experienced, and what I learned. So what I'm sharing with you, Thomas, is what I learned, okay, through him in that channel. So what that means is that's fine. If mathematical firing order is not important to you and you want to discard it, that's your choice to do that. Okay? Because you're going to record that in your own cellular recorded memory, as I did in mine by virtue of experiencing what you communicated to me that it didn't have anything to do with the mathematical firing order when I already know that it does. Because you got to know that the first spirit is mathematical in origin. So that's like counterintuitive, right? Why would anybody tell you that math doesn't have anything to do with it? Avoid the subject. You ever heard of avoid the subject matter? So it's just like what my father used to do. Hey, put some light on that subject. So if you start putting light on that subject matter, right? Then that light that's there, that's exposing, take that light away from me. No, put it back on you. That's your 666 victimizer software. That's an infected unit. That's how you know. And another way that I put that is what we call a captured unit, which means they're running codes, those codes, the AI codes, the machine codes. And their state of awareness is not high enough in speed, which means they're running zero to have a higher state of awareness than the AI does. So it's speaking through the AI, just like I did the video on Ashiana. When they're contradictory to each other, knowing one from the other, which means you know your magnet from every other magnet, because you know your true Solar Rishi identity platform, which is your encryption code, which is your core blast furnace, which is the uniqueness of your own spiritual essence. See, like when I went over the island of Kauai, okay, which means Mama doesn't need to send me a text in order for me to know her, even though Mama is androgynous. All I have to do is go over the island of Kauai, plant my bare feet on that soil, and I can feel her without saying a word. She doesn't have to say a word. Mama Earth does not have to say a word, because I feel the essence of her spirit, which means I'm experiencing silence, silver and gold silence, the first flame of Adama Amareya. I am feeling the essence of Mama's spirit. That's how I know Mama. It's her essence, which is what it feels like. What it feels like to be in the presence of Mama's spirit. Because I'll never forget what I experienced the last time I was there. Oh, I know you. Another flower on my pink rose, Thomas. The Rosetta Stone of Sophia, which is the essence and the purity of that love that heals us all. That's the truth of it. So it has everything to do with attention, doesn't it? Because if a bunch of people were paying attention to that channel, and then all of a sudden someone puts in there that's highly important information that's related to mathematics and mathematical order and how to operate a hula body, the next thing you know is all of a sudden they're running to my channel. Right? Magnets, attracting energy, units of consciousness that are attracted to the channels. So that's why when the internet all rolled out, this is where the future memories of the future battlegrounds were going to be fought, which means masqueraders hiding behind keyboards. That's why it's the invisible landscape, Thomas. It has nothing to do with what you look like. Clones, androids, cyborg armies. Who are you really? Remember? I'm back to 5 years of age. Who are you really? You don't need to tell me, because we can already read the light that is represented by the light that you're running on. Are those deadlight codes? Are those the original codes? I know the original codes. I run on the original codes, Thomas. I know the original tones. I know the original music, what it feels like. What it feels like to be in the presence of that spirit. Harmless energy. That's right. It's there to nurture you, be gentle with you, and to restore the lifeblood back in you. The water, the spirit in the water, the spirit in the fire, water, liquid consciousness, pooling, whirlpools of pure plasma, baby, that is on fire to love you. And when you experience that fire in me, trust me, that fire, like it did Misha, will light her up. That's how we do repairs, Thomas. Just light it up. Light your cells on fire, because the spirit is in all the cells. Lighting your cells on fire. Wow. Now that spirit comes alive, jumps up with 2 feet on the ground, spread like a Y down to the center point of Eartha, and you see the 2 arms go up with another Y, and then they're out across the horizontal plane, make a cross, the center point of a cell, the center point of the first star, the silver and gold mated one. Yeah. Iyani. So yes, Thomas, I'm very familiar with the Yanni massacre and the Lemurian Holocaust intimately. Have a beautiful day. We love you all. Be good to ourselves.